Welcome to a new season of Code for Thought, the podcast for researchers who code and research software engineers. And of course, a very happy new year to you too. I know it's coming a little bit late, and to some of you, if not myself, it may seem that New Year's Day is already ages ago, particularly with all the stuff that's happening right now. That aside, I want to use this short trailer to tell you what lies ahead in this season of the podcast. Let me start by saying that it's not just any other season of Code for Thought. In fact, it's a birthday season. Code for Thought is 5 years old. I find this hard to believe. After all, it was meant to be a little side project when I kicked it off in January 2021. But, c'est la vie, here I am 5 years later, still at it. And not only that, because during this time, I left my day job and became a full-time and freelance podcaster. And I'm going to come back to all of that a little bit later, but first, let's talk about the stuff that's coming this season. The big news, at least for me, is that I teamed up with Jeremy Cohen, Isabella von Holstein, and others from Imperial College to bring a new series of bite-sized classes and podcasts to you. Some of you may remember the bite-sized RSE program, and for those of you who don't, bite-sized RSE was a set of short online classes, about an hour long or so, that focused on getting some practical skills for working with software or digital data or project management techniques in research. And Code for Thought provided companion podcast episodes for each of these classes. The original program was called Bite-Sized RSE and was part of the Universe HPC project, which was led by Neil Chu Hong from the Software Sustainability Institute. Alas, the Universe HPC program came to an end at the beginning of last year, but Jeremy and I were quite keen to continue with the program, or at least with the concept, and discussed how we can pull this off. And not only that, but also we wanted to extend the reach to include not only research software engineers, but anyone who would work as a digital technical professional in research. Hence, this new series of bite-sized online classes and podcast episodes will cover 3 different areas: research data, research infrastructure, and as before, research software. To take part in the online classes, you'll need to register as before, and you'll find the announcements in the usual channels, like for instance the UK RSE Slack channel. The companion podcast episodes will go live shortly after the class on Tuesdays as all Code for Thought episodes, and will be clearly marked as bite-sized episodes in the title. Initially, we're planning a set of 10 online classes and episodes for this year, 2026, and the following, 2027. So there's going to be a lot of material coming your way, and we hope you'll find at least some of it useful in your work. But of course, there's more than just bite-sized RTP episodes. I'll be kicking off this new season with a discussion on if research software can be used to evaluate research projects, and if so, how. We have a bunch of initiatives that try to do just that, not least the so-called Hidden Ref initiative in the UK. There'll be room to talk about some software libraries as well, for instance a conversation I had with Thomas White, who created Crystfell, used in material science and biology, for instance for the study of protein structures. And another example is a new library that I came across quite recently. It's called Pixie, and it promises to be a fast and convenient package manager. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? During my time at the University College London, I worked on a very exciting project in life sciences called NextBrain. My colleague at the time, James Hughes, and I built an atlas allowing you to navigate through a human brain in a web browser. The paper for the whole research project has just been published, and I wanted to have a chat with the lead of the project, Eugenio Iglesias from Boston in the US. Apart from research software, There's been a question that's been puzzling me for a while. Where do research data, or any data for that matter, end up? How difficult is it to preserve data for future generations of researchers? For this, I went a bit on an odyssey and met with a variety of different people working in this exciting and quite challenging field. And then, of course, there's a new cohort of fellows of the Software Sustainability Institute starting their fellowship in 2026, and I'll be talking to some of them in another episode this season. Research software engineering as a job role and as a term in general is still quite new, I find. The term was coined, after all, only in 2012. But look at it now. RSE groups, some of them growing rapidly, springing up all over the place, not just the UK. Not to mention all the engineers working embedded in research teams. Well, last year I had the pleasure and opportunity to meet one of those teams, the RSE team at the University of Newcastle in the northeast of England, and you can hear for yourself the breadth and depth of the work they do. And in fact, shining a light on RSE groups, but also the individual engineers embedded in research groups, is something I want to bring to you a little bit more often. So over the coming weeks and months, I might contact some of the groups or individuals to see if we can do a portrait of you and your work. Or alternatively, you can get in touch with me and let me know you want to have a chat. The one thing that I haven't mentioned so far are the non-English language episodes. Since 2023, as some of you know, I've been publishing episodes once a month on the last Tuesday in German. And for this season, there'll be a bunch of episodes ranging from a regional RSE group meetup in North Germany to a session about the so-called Long Night of Sciences that happened once a year in Germany, and to what the German Climate Research Center is up to in terms of software modeling. There'll be more episodes in both English and German coming this season. I haven't mentioned all of them yet, but hopefully this short list will give you a flavor of what's coming. The one thing, however, that I did have to drop, unfortunately, are bringing episodes in French to you. It was a bit of an experiment when I started doing that with the help of Ghislain Veillon from Paris last year. But producing podcast episodes takes quite a lot of effort and a lot of time, and time is a luxury many of us do not have, including Ghislain, of course, who after all has a full-time and demanding job. At the same time, supporting 3 language versions is a little bit too much for me as well, and so sadly, I had to drop the production of French episodes for now, which is not to say that there won't be any in the future, but at least not in this season. And now, let's get the popcorn out, blow the candle, and celebrate 5 years of this podcast.
Happy birthday!
And what a 5 years this has been. 195 episodes listened to in 150 different countries worldwide. At least that's what the podcast hosting platform tells me. And all of that because you have been listening to me rambling on about research software engineering during all these years. So a very big thank you to all of you. But of course, I couldn't have pulled all of this off without the help of so many of you who offered advice and support, and yes, including financial support. There are too many people and institutions to list and give credit to, so I hope you forgive me if I don't read them out individually, but you know who you are. So wherever you are, in the UK or outside, a big thank you as well. My intention when creating Code for Thought was to have this as a podcast for the growing community of research software engineers and digital technical research professionals in general, to keep up with all of the changes and exciting new stuff that's happening is taking a considerable part of my time, as you can imagine. But you can help. So if you have an idea for a topic you'd like to hear about in an episode, drop me a line. Likewise, if you're a technical research professional or a group of RSEs, and you want to showcase the work you do, please contact me as well. The best way to do that is per email, which is peter@codeforthought.org, where Code for Thought is written in one word with the number 4 between code and thought. And if in doubt, you can pick up the email address from the show notes. Of course, if you are on the UK RSE Slack channel, the SSI Slack channel, you can contact me there as well as on LinkedIn and Blue Sky, the details of which can be found in the show notes as well. But now, let's start the new season of Code for Thought. Enjoy and listen. Oh, time's up. See you next time. But before I forget, this podcast is covered by the Creative Commons license. See ya.